With the 2022 NFL Draft just around the corner, most teams have their quarterback situations solved, at least temporarily, entering the new season, and the few still actively looking for help under center may target one of this year's top prospects. But where does that leave Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo, the two remaining big-time named veterans still available and without a team? While Mayfield's split from the Browns was inevitable after Cleveland's blockbuster trade for Deshaun Watson, with reports coming out that the former number 1 overall pick could be dealt before the draft. Neither he nor Garoppolo are in high demand. With that in mind, here's an updated look at their respective markets. So are both quarterbacks locked in the trade market? That's the big question. Not necessarily. While both Mayfield and Garoppolo are safe bets to play elsewhere in 2022, it's entirely feasible that one or both could be released from their teams. The former was on shaky terms with Cleveland even before the team finalized a record deal with Watson. The Browns aren't going to pay him over $18 million that he's due in 2022 just to sit unhappily on the bench, especially after already adding Jacoby Brissett as the backup emergency starter. So if they can't find takers, they simply may cut him. As for Garoppolo, he is in San Francisco, and after a disastrous end of season finale play against the Rams, simply, you could clearly tell that his days were over in San Francisco. Also, San Francisco has a rookie quarterback they're looking to break in and simply get the ball rolling with him. Both quarterbacks are not worth a whole lot right now. The quarterback market has largely been inflated this offseason. Seattle netted 4 picks and 3 players, including 2 first-rounders for Russell Wilson. Houston got 5 picks, including 3 firsts for Watson, and the Colts essentially got a pair of third-rounders for Carson Wentz. Even so, it's hard to imagine any team surrendering more than a single mid-round pick at most for either Mayfield or Garoppolo. Baker Mayfield is young at 26 years old and without playoff experience at a reasonable price for a rental and potential long-term starter. But why give up anything of significant value for what amounts to a top 20 placeholder or an expiring contract? Garoppolo, meanwhile, has proven to be slightly safer and efficient top 15-ish starter for playoff contenders. But he is also older at 30 years old and has likely reached his ceiling and is constantly battling injuries. They may have fetched some combo of day 2 and day 3 picks, or perhaps a 2nd and 5th or something along those lines at the very start of the offseason, but the quarterback vacancies have simply filled up and no one seems to want either Baker Mayfield or Jimmy Garoppolo. At this point, the most likely scenario for either quarterback being dealt is their inclusion in a swap or draft picks. Think the Browns' Amari Cooper deal, in which Cleveland absorbed the ex-Cowboys wide receiver contract in exchange for a 5th-round pick or swap or 6th. Dallas got cap space and a minor token of draft capital. Cleveland got the proven player. Look, either Jimmy G or Baker could land with any of these potential teams. Jacksonville could use one of the 2 quarterbacks who could potentially give Doug Peterson and the new staff a more experienced backup for Trevor Lawrence. Or we could go to Detroit. The Lions with Jared Goff already gives them a middling veteran placeholder at quarterback, but Garoppolo is arguably a touch more reliable when healthy, and Mayfield brings that moxie that Coach Dan Campbell might appreciate. And finally, Houston. The Texans have a second-year man in Davis Mills who is primed to get a full audition for the job, but they could explore competition. Garoppolo doesn't feel like the right fit for a team in transition, but Mayfield, who's from Texas, could be a low-risk, high-reward bet for Houston.